This is Michael Peroutka from the Institute of the Constitution, and Brian Rohrbough just spoke about the pro-life ministry versus the pro-life industry, and that's a powerful thing, isn't it?
It was a very compelling talk, Peter. He did a great job, not only of showing the personal aspect of this for him, but communicating that to all of us. Obviously, with his son being tragically killed at Columbine, part of that massacre, that was a pivotal experience in his life that made him then study why that occurred. And the studying and the research, which I'm sure had to be gut-wrenching for him to understand that issue, drove him to understand a broader and deeper, give him a broader and deeper appreciation, I think, of the pro-life issue, and that what happened at Columbine was set up to happen by our culture of death, and everything that plays into that, including what the government schools, the foundational principles they teach are anti-American, anti-biblical, and anti-life. They're anti-life, and so it's no mystery really to see what the criminals, the criminal students at Columbine did, because that's actually what we as Americans or as the school system allowed and trained them to do. So personalizing that, communicating that to us, I think gave us all really strong lessons and an understanding of the danger, the deadly danger of Darwinian thinking, of evolutionary thinking, and the need to return to what we call the American view of law and government. There is, and this is not, it is my view, but I didn't make it the American view, Peter. It's the American view because these are the principles on which our country was founded. They're enshrined in the Declaration of Independence. There is a God. Our rights come from Him, and the purpose of civil government is to protect and secure those God-given rights. It's not to interfere in the jurisdiction of the family by trying to propagandize and educate the children. It's not to do many of the things that it does do now. It has a very limited and specific function, and when it gets outside that function, these evil things happen. And it was just a great presentation by Mr. Rohrbough tonight.
It was, and one of the questions that was asked by Day Gardner, she had actually made the statement that aren't the parents partially responsible for these things that happen? And he came back and he said, not partially, fully. That's powerful, isn't it?
It was a very powerful moment when he said that, and it is very true. And I think one of the points he was dispelling at the same time was the idea of don't try to go and reform the government school system. You've got to get out. You've got to remove your children because you are responsible. And his personal responsibility for the death of his son, he expressed, which was dramatic and is a powerful thing to think about. But it makes us appreciate, I think, movements like Exodus Mandate that E. Ray Moore is very much behind. I think they call it Let My Children Go, the ExodusMandate.com, ExodusMandate.org, where the thrust of the message is let's Christians get our children out of what he calls Pharaoh's schools, because they're being trained, as Brian said tonight, they're being trained against your values, against the values of the parents, against America. The government schools are training children against American values. That's what's happening.
And that's a big statement to make, all you pro-life people out there watching. I mean, pull the kids out of schools?
It is, yes.
Well, we did. I can tell you, we did, and we put our kids in. Our son is in Christian school. Our daughter survived the public school, and I would say by the grace of her strength.
But the point is, when you send your child off on a yellow school bus to a government school, you're sending them into the jaws of death. You're sending them into the culture of death. You're sending them to a place where, contrary to what you might think, what's being taught there is anti-American and anti-life.
Yeah. Well, this is the Institute on the Constitution, like we started out with, and how do people find out more about what you do?
Please go to IOTConline.com. IOTC stands for Institute on the Constitution, IOTConline.com, or you can call us at 866-730-9796, 866-730-9796 to get information. Also, theamericanview.com. Theamericanview.com is a place where we take these principles that we learn and we try to apply them to what's going on in the culture, just like we're doing here tonight.
It's great. I talked earlier about the fact that so many in the church and in the community and the media, a lot of people don't pay attention to this topic. You and your brother have really helped a lot of people in the movement, and I appreciate that, and I know a lot of other people do.
To God be the glory. We're glad to be part of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.